Hello, everybody. Welcome to the audio commentary for Clean Before Loading. I want to do a series of these for all my films, starting with Clean Before Loading, the first part of the Conversations trilogy. Conversations trilogy is a series of 3 films, 2 directed by me, 1 directed by my wife, each one in a different filmmaking style. I was inspired by the films of Peter John Ross, actually his cell phone monologues, where he took people on their cell phones, having this epic conversation with somebody that you don't hear on the other end, but he wanted to do it with great cinematography. I wanted to do something kind of like Coffee and Cigarettes. I think that's what it is with Jim Jarmusch. 2 people talking in a particular setting. The setting plays a character. The conversation tells an epic story. And again, like I said, done in a different filmmaking style. This one done in the 1960s European drama style, kind of like Purple Noon, actually, which was a huge inspiration for the film. Also a huge inspiration for the film, not a big surprise, Scenes from a Marriage, which HBO Max is doing a remake of that. Eric hates couples, by the way. See, he looks like he wants to kill them. He's not happy with them. That is Eric, played by Chris Parsons. I love this shot. Yeah, this film is the closest from script to screen of any film that I have made. And it's really just because it's a short film. I mean, with Christ Complex, that was a much more complicated film, and there were so many people involved. And with this one, there was, Jessica, played by my wife, Jenny Rebecca Richards. This one, there was less people involved, and it was just a little bit easier to kind of get everything I wanted onto the screen. And I think Christ Complex, I didn't know if I was going to make another film, so it was like a kitchen sink film, kind of like Zack Snyder's Justice League, where you just throw everything in.
So is he showing up?
And praying this stuff sticks.
So yes, to answer your question.
The thing is, people always, my directing style is style of delegator. My wife always gets on to me. She's like, I don't know how in the world you've made movies and you can't take a simple selfie or a simple picture with me. And the truth is, I'm just lazy. Very much, and my kids are lazy too. I'm reminded of that because that was a conversation I was having with my wife this morning about my son being lazy this morning. They get it from me. Like, I'm just super lazy when it comes to, like, I love to cut corners. And so, when it comes to, like, I have an idea of, like, how I want shots to look. I just want somebody else to set that up. I have an idea of, like, how I want things edited. I just don't really want to be the one editing it. I don't have the patience for that. So I'm kind of a delegating director or a managing director in regards to, I find people who have these talents and I put them into place, and then I just say, this is what I want, and then I supervise it, and at the end of the day, it either looks like what I want or it doesn't, And this one was so easy because I was so in tune with the editor. I was so in tune with the... I hope you can't hear my notifications going off while I'm doing this. I think I muted them, but if you hear binging, that's notifications. I'm a very busy guy.
Can I go now?
I want to say something.
I was very in tune with the editor, very in tune. I used Todd Cooper before. Very in tune with the cinematographer, Todd Cooper. He actually did some second unit stuff for Christ Complex. And so I just, and the assistant director was Donna Linsell, was very in tune with her.
Okay. I can agree with that.
Jenny helped quite a bit.
Fits in,
She actually even eventually co-directed a film with me later on in my career.
Baggage. See, let's say you put a load of
love Chris Parsons. Acting.
Lint. You keep putting loads.
And there's a lot of metaphors throughout this. The whole thing is rife with metaphors because the bag plays a character. Well, we'll get to that in a second.
They even post a sign to remind you. Simply reads.
But everything was just very on purpose here. The casting of Chris Parsons, the casting of my wife. I actually did use her. I was going to say, I had originally casted, I believe it was Heather Allen for Christ Complex in the last scene. She dropped at the last minute because of a scheduling conflict. I stuck Jenny in there and just loved her in Christ Complex. and then decided to cast her in this. Oh, Steve McQueen. So Steve McQueen's look kind of shocked a lot of people. They were not expecting, Jenny to leave Chris or Jessica to leave Eric for quote unquote Steve McQueen, but I love this shot coming up. I'll talk about it in a second.
That's true.
But we decided to pick somebody. Oh yeah, I like that shot too. We decided to pick somebody that here it is. This is not even a dolly. This is just all handheld.
We both deserve better.
This is Todd Cooper just made a dolly shot without even using a dolly, just with his feet. Anyway, with Steve McQueen, we really wanted somebody who you wouldn't, younger, young, kind of a punk rocker, somebody you wouldn't expect, Jessica to leave. But we kind of give hints of that, of that throughout. Like if you look at Jessica's kind of wearing a local Parkersburg punk rock shirt. Nobody would really recognize that unless you're from the Parkersburg area, but so we kind of left hints that she was a little bit wild secretly, even though she's got kind of a more mature. I don't mean that like older, but like more mature, look much more than Steve McQueen, who's kind of a kid. I always get nervous when I talk about women's ages. I like mature, as in she's older than him. Oh, what was in the bag? You don't know. You don't know what was in the bag. So the bags. People always ask me that. It's the first thing people ask me at film festivals or wherever the screen. Like, what's in the bag? It's whatever you want there to be in the bag. Like you watch this, and it's whatever you want there to be in the bag. It's just a metaphor for the relationship, because at the end of the day, he made something else more important in his relationship, and that was the whole idea behind the story. Is that your affair doesn't necessarily have to be a person; it can be whatever pulls you away from your marriage. So that was just kind of, it was very, very kind of, honestly, in a way, even this is a divorce film, it's very pro-marriage in regards to you have to be vested in the other person, otherwise, you're going to lose them. And he was still obsessed with that bag. This song performed by Jonathan Ray. Jonathan Ray was the composer on Christ Complex. He did this song. I loved it so much, I wanted to make sure it played out through the entire credits, and I got made fun of at film festivals for it, because people were like, the closing song is as long as the movie, and it certainly is. Dirk Candy did do set photography for the film. They are amazing. Still enjoy watching their work today. Yes, the song is Restless by Jonathan Ray. Eamon Hardiman is a director of several horror films in the West Virginia area. Very, very famous in the independent horror films scene. David Smith, huge inspiration for me to even start making films. He was making them in Huntington at the time. We'll talk more about that when we do the audio commentary for Christ Complex. All the kids, special thanks to all of them. Lots of West Virginia filmmakers in this. Doc Benson. Carlos was the first cinematographer for Christ Complex, but there was a falling out, not between us, just scheduling falling out, and we had to move everything to Parkersburg, West Virginia. Talk about that in the Christ Complex audio commentary. Yes, H.K. Richards, my daughter, passed away. Probably should mention this. It was filmed on a Nikon D800. Filmed on location in Vienna, West Virginia. It was. And like I said, everything played a character. Even the location was a character. Yeah, people just gave me a hard time because of how long this went. But I don't know. I just really wanted to make sure his music was... I don't know. It worked. I don't really care. All right, everyone, that's clean before loading. If there's any questions I didn't answer, please. That is my dog running in here all of a sudden. If there's any questions that I did not answer, feel free to ask them in the comments. I will answer them. And thank you for watching.